Good afternoon. My name is Steve Wilhelms, Executive Vice President and COO of InfoStream.
John Van Ortwick, Product Manager, InfoStream.
So InfoStream basically provides safety, compliance, and risk management services and systems for the transportation industry. These particular services are not a result of John and I sitting in a room thinking, wouldn't it be nice if, but it's actually the culmination of over 45 years of experience meeting and dealing with some of the industry-leading safety professionals. Some of those are in the room here today, but we've had the pleasure of taking their needs, their wants, their wishes, trying to fill gaps, and listening to what they need and responding in a way that we think is appropriate. So, how many of you have ever, oops, this went off here. How many of you have ever went into a trucking company or talked to a safety person and said, hey, I really feel like this is me with all the data that I'm getting, right? I'm drinking from a fire hose. And whether you're in safety operations, with all the data that's out there now, we know that that's what's happening, is that you're drinking from a fire hose. What we like to do at InfoStream is take that data, try to distill it down, and make your time with data a little bit more enjoyable and pare it down. With that, we're going to get into our program.
So we start off with just a basic DQ file. It's got all your standard functionality you expect with a DQ file, at the expiring documents, missing documents. A couple things that we do is we offer a full audit. We utilize safety professionals to actually do that audit, so it's being done by safety professionals. And we get the data from any source. So we like to start electronic and stay electronic. So that can be our recruiting system and our online application, or it can be Fleet's online application, or any of the other providers that provide that information. The other thing that we're going to do is we're going to pull in a lot of other data to give a complete view of that driver, a holistic view of that driver. So we've got a bunch of different tabs for that specific driver. We're going to show what workflows he's a part of, any other documents beyond the standard DQ files. We could break that out into different categories and restrict that based on security rules. We're going to have a training, so we've got a full LMS package that also integrates with all the major training providers or your fleet's content, so we can include that and utilize that information. We have a point system, so all this data that we're bringing in can be assigned points. Log violations, this is just an example, but this can be coming in from your ELD provider, and we're going to end up showing some actual get to the driver performance where we actually have ELD data, telematics data, so we can create thresholds and solutions around that data that we're getting in. So it could be miles without hours and thresholds based on that, and showing a vehicle or a driver that's got that miles per gallon, so performance information, on-time delivery, as well as hard braking and ADAS information. So we're pulling all that information in and creating solutions around that data. A couple more areas that we look at, accidents, injury data, call-ins, we can create notes. Another good example of a solution that we're going to create is the annual safety review. So rather than just give you a notification that an annual safety review is due for a driver, the system's automatically going to go and send out the COV. It's going to send that to a driver app that they can get on their phone, or through the driver portal they can log in and get that through a kiosk at the terminal. However you communicate with the driver, we're going to facilitate that. We're going to go and automatically order the MVR. So the first notification you're going to get is when the data is actually ready. So we give you the 2 documents up there. You can talk to the driver and actually do the electronic signature right there. So really create a solution around that information, not just gathering the data and integrating it from other points, but actually creating a solution.
So one of the things that we also found out in talking to the risk management side of the group is that if you're using a traditional RMIS system, most of those were made by insurance companies, utilized by insurance companies and risk management companies, and then kind of augmented to fit the trucking company. We have a full risk management solution that goes from first report of injury, first report of loss, cargo claims, all the way through subrogation, litigation, and full and final settlement of all claims. It contains diary information, reserving information. It's a full set, but it was built for trucking, and then you can export whatever you want into your insurance company, keep up with the reserves, and better handle and process your claims.
Another example of a solution is just managing your DVIRs. So beyond just managing the DVIRs and retaining those, so in case there's an audit or something, but we're actually going to create a solution, again, integrating with your vehicle maintenance system, whether that's our vehicle maintenance system or whatever vehicle maintenance system you're using. We're going to actually talk to the vehicle maintenance system and schedule those repairs, follow up on those repairs and make sure they get completed and kind of create that full circle around the DVIR. Again, and also annual roadside inspections, so I can look at the roadside inspection. We're going to pull that information. We're going to make sure we get the roadside inspection document from the driver. We're going to make sure that it gets registered in the CSA data that we're pulling, and we're actually going to be able to check the DVIR. If it was a vehicle type violation, did he note it on his DVIR? So it gives us a chance to be able to actually check on DVIRs and see if they're doing those correctly, and again, create repairs or assign points, or if it's a clean inspection, we can actually work with your payroll system and actually automate a bonus structure for that driver. So again, just another example of the kind of solutions that we can put together with this data.
So this is just one example that we try to make it easier for not only the staff, but for the drivers as well. This is an independent contractor operating agreement system where we can house various different types of documents. They can be sent to the driver for an electronic signature, and you can see what the status is on that. So this is whether you're asset-based, whether you are owner-operator-based, whether you're a mixed fleet. This management system is just an operations side for the independent owner-operator agreement, but you can use our on-demand orientation to manage these documents ahead of time, and then all of that ends up in
the dashboard. So we want to make sure that this data is usable. You can drill down in the dashboard to get to the root cause and quickly resolve a problem. This is just one mechanism to get that information out to you. I better let you go.
So we like to distill the data.